Hey, what up, foe and them? It's time to talk about Insecure Season 4, Episode 2. So, this was a pretty. I know, like, a lot of people have been saying, like, this episode was disappointing. It was a filler. Y'all, every episode can't be fire. Every episode has to set up the next one. So, come on, y'all. Give a little grace where grace needs to be given and just enjoy the show. All right, just enjoy the show. I enjoyed the show for what it was. So let's get right into it. So the show opened up with Molly and Andrew coming out on a date. Molly's wearing this sexy red dress, yellow dress. And let me just say that yellow looks so good on brown skin. So good. And I'm pretty sure Andrew's actor, Alexander Hodge, appreciated that dress on Molly. But anyway, they being all cute and whatever. They talking about, they making eye contact. They being all romantic and shit. And, they start flirting and whatever. And Andrew gets this call about, that he said was work related. And Molly, I don't know. At first, when I was looking at her face, I'm like, does she think it's another bitch? But Andrew debuffed that and said, no, it's not another bitch. It's work. It's actually work. And at first, when they called, she reassured him like, "Nah, you can take this in front of me. I'm really not sweating this shit." And then he went to the back. He took the call. Then he came back to her, clearly perturbed. And Molly was like, "You can talk to me. It's cool." And he was about to start saying what it was, and then he just immediately just said, "Fuck that," and just kept it to himself. And Molly says, "You know what? It's cool, whatever." And as they were getting in the car, he said he would rather talk about that cake. And Molly was like, "I'm not sharing. You ain't getting no cake." And he was like, "Are you sure?" And next thing you know, as all the ladies have been waiting for, they finally got to see motherfucking Asian Bay clapping some cheeks, giving Molly his motherfucking samurai sword, as Kelly said later on in the interview, in the episode. I'm gonna call it the interview. In the episode, the next scene starts with Issa. Hold on, I got these notes 'cause I want to be accurate. Issa and Condola go to go look at the event space, and the chemistry between these two seems all the way genuine to me. I don't know about y'all. It seems like they're on track to be really great friends. But however, it's too early to tell because we really don't know this bitch Condola like that, and we really don't know how she is when she gets upset. So if she's annoyed by Issa, if she's annoyed by Molly, or if she's annoyed by Lawrence, we really don't know the type of bitch that this bitch is gonna be. She could be the bitch, like, fuck you, fuck this event, you on your own. Or she could be the bitch like, you know what, fuck you, Lawrence, go back to your ex. Just like that in a fucking instance. We really don't know her like that to know if how cool her and Issa could be. But on the outside, their chemistry is really dope. And then talking about this event space and how good it looks, where everything's going to be set up. And the conversation proceeds to Issa asking what Condola has planned for the weekend, to which Condola tells her she was going out of town to Ojai Valley. And Issa was like, "Oh, that's romantic." And then it clicked in her head, "Oh, that's romantic. You about to go out to Ojai Valley with my ex." And it immediately got awkward between the both of them. But for once, and I can say this is good for early on, the both of them decide, you know what, we're just about to be grown women about this and just say, hey, I do not want it to get awkward every time Lawrence comes up. But here's the thing, for me, this is just for me. Lawrence don't fucking have to come up at all. Like, I really don't understand how two adult women can't keep uncomfortable topic from coming up, especially when the only time they meet up is to talk about work. It's always work related. That's what one thing that was still confusing me about the first episode, and still confusing me now. They are just business associates. So I just don't why all these faux interpersonal wires are being crossed. It just isn't making sense to me. But they woman up about it and says, you know what? I'm not about to stress about this anymore. I like that y'all are together. It's cool. And Issa says, I'm not about to let a motherfucker who eats his fries with mayonnaise fuck up my block party pretty much. And that's when the two of them just pretty much goes on a Lawrence a Job Lawrence party to where they just trading little quirky shit that he does back and forth to both for their amusement. They bonded over cooking Lawrence, and that was cool. And I need my light because when it went dark on my left side, y'all right probably, it wasn't cool. Let me just do something with that. Anyway, so next scene, Issa, Kelly, Molly, and Tiffany meet up at Tiffany's house, and I deduced that it was Tiffany's house because she was calling for Derek. I think we've seen all their houses now. We've seen Kelly's house when Issa was telling them about Musical Inc. And I'm out of light. Okay, there we go. Musical Inc., but musical with a Q because she got things done quickly and they both fried her ass. But we're at Tiffany's house this time. Tiffany is dressed up as Cleopatra. Okay, she had to be someone light skinned. Kelly is dressed up as Halle Berry from Baps, not the big girl. I can't remember that woman's name, which would have been fucking easy for her. But she's like, nah, I'm gonna be Baps. And truth to be told, Halle Berry's looking Baps is a lot more iconic than the other woman's. Molly is dressed up as Isis from Bring It On because she had the braids and all. She wasn't just a random Clover, okay? She was Isis because she had the braids that went around her head like my do-rag strap. And Issa was dressed up as a Jigaboo from School Days. And looking at her, I'm like, with this fucking fade, this cut, whatever the fuck this is, it's so familiar. And then two and two was put together. I'm like, oh, she's the Jigaboo from motherfucking School Days when they had the good or bad hair song. So all of them are talking about Issa's block party. Tiffany lets her know, like, bitch, I got some shit coming through for you. Issa thanks her, and then it goes to Molly and Issa going to go get drinks. And Molly's like, bitch, I miss you. We haven't talked in so long. And it's probably because motherfucking Issa is spending so much time with the braid hoe. She's spending hella time with the braid hoe and pretty much just had Molly just on the outside. Like, she's totally fucking forgotten about her. But she reassures Molly that she misses her too, and Molly has the idea that they'll go get lunch to fucking catch up. But meanwhile, Issa wants to know about Asian Bay. What does his dick do? What doesn't it do? Now, she's like, the dick is great, it's phenomenal. I love it in my mouth, but we just not close. We're not clicking, we're not communicating, we're not talking. I don't know nothing about this man other than how he fucking likes to I don't have anything there. I thought I had something. I didn't have nothing. It was awful. But she's like, I don't know anything about this man really. It's just all shit talking and witty banter, and I want more because now it's just feeling like another Dro situation. And Issa's like, bitch, are you sure you're just not trying to find a problem with this dude? Kind of implying, like, in a passive aggressive way that you always trying to look for problems with people. And does Molly really always look for problems in people? I mean, the whole situation with like Jared, like she really wasn't looking for that problem with him. She kind of just that shit was like just brought up by because they were both talking about things that they went through, crazy things that they went through in college. So that wasn't really a problem that she found. It was just something that she couldn't get over. She really ain't found a problem with Dro, but Dro being married was the problem. She didn't really find a problem with Quentin other than she really wasn't feeling him, and I thought we all could tell that. Season 3, she was fucking. I mean, I don't know. Does Molly really always find problems with people? I don't know. I really can't say right now. But like I said, Dro was the problem because I mean, Dro's marriage was the problem, but that wasn't the problem that she looked for. I mean, I don't know. But Issa asked her that, and Tiffany's like, no. If Molly really wants to get to know this man, then he has to talk. And I agree because I feel like even though they are just dating, there are important things that you need to know about people prior to actually getting in a relationship with them. Now, sex is very important. You need to know what it looked like and what it's hitting on, definitely. Personally, I feel like if I'm dating somebody, I don't want to have sex with you until we actually enter a relationship. But like I said, take that with a grain of salt because I ain't ever been with nobody. But I feel like to really genuinely get to know somebody, that may be necessary. But I mean, you want to know if they're financially responsible. Are they financially stable? Can they cook? Can they clean? Are they slobs? How are they with their families? Are they distant with their families? Are they close with their families? Are you gonna have to worry about impressing parents? Because if they're not close with their parents, then you good on that. So it is important for people to open up, but okay, there are things that you can leave, for a later date, but you at least have to tell a motherfucker something. You got to let Molly know something. She's like, he hasn't told me anything yet, but Tiffany was like, Molly's right. And when Molly said that she was just gonna slow it down, Issa kind of laughed and like Molly's like, yeah, bitch, I am capable of slowing it down. I don't have to just be fucking. And Lisa was like, okay, girl. So, oh, and it was like super. I mean, Kelly, like when she got up in that leather ass get up, like, you saying how she had like absolutely no ass at all. None. Not a cheek. Nowhere in sight. And Tiffany trying to get up with that fake pregnant belly was fucking hilarious too, because it's like, I feel like if you're going to be, whenever they have like these actresses being fake pregnant, they're better off just putting like fat suits on them and then putting the bellies on them, because you being skinny with this big ass belly, and granted, there are very skinny women. Like especially on that first pregnancy, they're already skinny, so they just look nasty pregnant. But it's like, come on now, this looks a little cringe worthy. But it was super hilarious when she asked Tiffany for that toothbrush. I don't know what the fuck she thought Kelly was gonna do. This is Kelly we're talking about. She threw it. She was like, "That's what the kids gonna do," and she was fucking right. Don't give me no goddamn toothbrush on Halloween, bitch. I don't want to worry about having good teeth. I want to fuck up my teeth with all this chocolate I'm about to eat. Like, come on. But that was that scene. What happened next? So, oh yeah, the the show transitions to Issa bed rocking with none other than TSA Bay. She is in there fucking getting bust down by Calvin, busting her down the way a full size nigga can. And he was fucking her on the side of the bed, and I'm like, I don't know how she didn't get a head rush. I mean, maybe that helped her come. I don't know, but that looks hella uncomfortable. And then when she came up, it was Calvin's turn. He did his job. He got her off first. Now it's time for his. He's on top of her, missionary, because that's the way. That's the only way Issa can take it with his big ass. And he asked her to press his booty button. Now I didn't catch this. I really didn't catch this, but because when we seen, first of all, Issa couldn't even reach over his fat ass. That was hilarious. But I thought she was just, touching his ass. But then people was like, nah, she was fucking with that gooch, okay? She was, either she was rubbing that prostate or she was fingering his ass. And I'm like, that's gross. Like, that's just not something I would want to do. No, thank you. No, thanks. I will hard pass on that. Hard pass. That's not something that I want done that is invited into the bedroom for me. But if you like it, I don't love it. So after that wraps, what's so interesting about the two of them is like Issa is so not interested in Calvin. It's like the moment they're done having sex, she is done with him. So she's roll over, she's looking for her clothes immediately, no kissing, no talking, no cuddling, no nothing. And he looks underneath the covers and he's like, the condom is not here. So they're like panicking looking for the condom. Issa's just throwing shit all over the place, threw his big ass off the bed, looking for that goddamn condom. And she was like, it only can bleed in one place. And it was in no other place but her puss. She's in there looking through with a mirror, trying to find it. And I'm just like, man, the woes of being a woman. And it's like, she did her job. They had protected sex, but not a condom in her pussy. Like, yikes. But her mirror bitch is looking at her like, bitch, I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. And Issa admits that shit, that she too is disappointed. And she somewhat apologizes to herself. But before she could finish the apology, the condom fell out her pussing on the mirror. And that was hilarious and gross at the same time. So the next scene, Molly is at work and she calls Andrew and she lets him know that she wants to have a very intimate date. Fuck Summer Walker. We're not gonna be able to hear that bitch anyway because she really can't sing like that. Come to my crib and let's chill. And he agrees, and on her way into her office, she runs into Torian and asks him about an update. And it was the most awkward ever exchange. And you can tell Torian is still not feeling Molly after the way she just fucking usurped him last season with that Metro case. He's still not fucking feeling her because when she asked him about Cabo, he quickly shut her ass down and said, "Yeah, my hotel is all inclusive, thanks," and walks off. And she like, okay, she just so fucking thrown off that she just walked in, still talking to his ass, even though he wasn't even fucking there. She was over it. So, where we at? So Condola and Lawrence are at lunch, and they're talking about looking for Latoya, which is a hilarious. It's every time they mention these show within the shows, it's just fucking funny because they be so serious into this fake ass shit. Just how we are so serious at home watching into this fake ass shit. It's like reality. It's like holding a mirror up against the TV, looking at yourself. Look stupid. But as they're talking, Lawrence asks the waiter for some mayonnaise, and Condola immediately is chuckled by this because she thinks about how her and Issa were laughing at him being the only motherfucker on this world to eat mayonnaise with fries. Now, mayonnaise is only something I can eat with my sandwich. Like, if I really, really need a I really never like ketchup on my fries. I rather eat plain fries. But if I really, really want a condiment, I will go with some ranch because niggas put ranch on everything. I will go with some honey mustard. I will go with some barbecue sauce. I don't want to do ketchup. But mayonnaise, no. Mayonnaise is sandwich spread, bitch. I'm not putting it on my fries. So she laughs, and he's like, "Well, we still laughing at looking for Latoya?" And she like, "No. Um, you do this whole mayonnaise with fries thing like a weirdo." And he's like, "Well, how did that come up?" "Yeah, Issa and I were talking about it." And immediately he is extremely uncomfortable while trying not to look fucking uncomfortable to her. He's trying to play it cool, but Condola reads it all on his face. And she's like, "Look, you were awkward. You were opposite awkward subject for Issa and I, so we kind of just had to talk about it to let it go." And he's like, "Well, what else did y'all talk about?" She was like, "I didn't know you ran track for a year." And he was like, "Yeah, just for a year. What else?" And she's like, "You know what? Are you okay?" And that's when it cuts to him telling Chad and Derek that he is not okay. And Chad, he's talking in tweet or in Facebook status like he always does, real short and brief and concise and straight to the point. He was like, "Now you got to shut that shit down. Next thing you know, they're going to be talking about your dick." And if they're messy, they will. They will be talking about all either the whack shit or the goofy shit that he does in bed. It'll go from food, the way he likes to eat food, to the way he likes to eat pussy that quick. So Derek's like, "I don't fuck with it, but I always just let it slide." And he's like, "What should I do? Should I talk to Condola or should I talk to Issa? Because I don't want to look too sensitive and I don't want to look petty. Well, I can't do one. I can't talk to Condola without looking sensitive, and I can't talk to Issa without looking petty." And they're just like, "You know what? Leave it alone." Chad's like, "I told you about pissing in the pools that you pee in," which was a word. You cannot go to your homegirl's baby shower knowing your ex is going to be there, and they're all in a circle of friends. Like, all these people know each other one way or another, or they're linked to another one way or another. Everybody is a mutual friend of somebody at this baby shower. So why would you even do it? But apparently he didn't listen, and he was like, "You know what? Don't fucking do that because she's gonna come crying to me. I'm gonna have to put it on there, and Leah gonna be mad at me again." And Chad is not trying to fuck up his engagement with his bitch again. So after that, Issa and Condola are meeting at lunch. I probably would do a good job just going off the top, but I want to like keep it chronological as fuck. So Issa and Condola at lunch, they're talking about block party again. Well, Molly shows up, and Molly is totally thrown off at the fact that this braid hoe is with her best friend again after she told Issa the shit is fucking messy. She don't want to see braid hoe. I don't even want to see braid hoe like that, and I know y'all don't want to see braid hoe. So she's thinking to herself, "Why is this bitch here?" But Issa quickly gets up to go give Molly a hug, and for some reason, Braid Ho gets up to do like this triple hug, and Molly's like, "What the fuck? Bitch, I don't even know you, and you touching me?" She was over it. But They get up, they greet, and they all fucking sit down. As they're sitting down, Condola was like, I'm about to punch, and Issa's like, no, why don't you just stay since you're hungry? And Molly's looking at her like, bitch, I want Braid Hoe to go, let her go. And she's like, oh no, I don't want to impose on y'all. She's like, no, you just put your shit on top of our shit, and we'll just have shit together. And the whole time, Molly is just inside wanting to punch Issa in her face, visibly showing Issa like, I'm not cool with this. If this bitch was talking about leaving, let her leave. She can go. And Issa just insists that Braid Hoe stays, so Braid Hoe fucking stays. But she gets up, since after she agreed to stay, she decided to go to the bathroom. And Molly's like, I thought it was just the two of us together. She was like, oh, but the bitch was hungry. Now, here's my thing. Issa already knew that Molly wasn't really feeling her even being cool with Braid Hoe at all. Thus, Molly has no interest in Braid Hoe. So, knowing that, you could have told Molly that Braid Hoe was going to be there. You could have did that. You could have told her, "Are you on your way?" Because Braid Hoe is still here, whatever the case may have been. But to just have Molly walk in, knowing she don't really want to fuck with this bitch, and then have this bitch sit and have lunch with y'all, that was kind of whack. It really was kind of whack, and it was just showing how Molly feeling threatened by Braid Hoe. It is valid, but it is showing how Issa is becoming more distant with Molly because she is spending so much time with Braid Hoe, which would be cool if Molly was close to other people, if Molly was had other ways to preoccupy her time outside of work and outside of Andrew, where she doesn't. The same way Issa really doesn't, and the dynamic of their relationship is changing because now another person is worked in, and Molly's like, again, as I said earlier in the video, you really don't know this bitch like that to just be being real like buddy buddy with her. You probably should just be keeping it close. I mean, keeping it work related. And you can do that by just not even having all these goddamn lunches and shit. Do shit over the phone. Send emails. Okay, send faxes. Don't have none of this going on. But Issa's like, okay, so do you want me to tell her to leave? And of course, it's too late now, Issa. So Molly's like, nah, it's cool. Molly swallows it up. She's like, bitch, I want to talk to you about Andrew. And Issa insists that they could talk about it on Self Care Sunday when Molly really wanted to fucking talk about it now. So, but it was whatever. Molly had to put that shit aside because Braid Hoe was joining them for lunch. And when she comes, she couldn't even get a fucking menu. She had to share a menu with fucking Braid Hoe. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. Issa, give me your menu. Since you fucked it up, you gonna deal with this attitude I got. How about that? Now, next. So, where we at? So Lawrence rolls up to Issa's house and to discuss her talking about him with Condola. Now this scene really threw me off. But Issa comes out as real cool little Benjamin trying to sell them some chocolate, probably some dirt that he just formed into a bar to try to sell people because Issa said no, it's not for the homeless. It's actually for me. And so they just ignore him. He went to go find Bugs Bunny. But Issa brings up, he's like, you know, I know that you and Condola are friends, but I would like it if I didn't come up in y'all conversation at all. I just kind of want her to get to know me through me. And that's it. And Issa's like totally cool about it, but that would have thrown me off because at the end of the day, you and Issa are exes, and even then, it's like y'all really ain't friends. Like when they were texting back and forth, I'm like, that's a little weird. Him showing up to her house, I thought that was weird because it's like how he even know where she stood. But I guess the motherfuckers are still in contact. But it's at the end of the day, you and Issa really don't have an obligatory relationship to each other anymore. That's you and Braid Hoe. So you could have asked Braid Hoe to not talk about you with Issa anymore. Okay, because at this point, either you're dating or that's your girlfriend, one of the two. But either or, you talking to Condola more than you talking to with Issa. So you shouldn't be asking Issa to stop telling you. I mean, to stop talking to anybody about you at all. You should have left that with the braid hoe. But as he said, he really liked her. He wanted to work out, so he wasn't gonna risk pissing her off by bringing this to her. So he would bring it to Issa. So Issa in that moment should have got him the fuck up out of there with that bullshit. That was whackety whack whack whack. Now, so Andrew goes over to Molly's house. Molly clearly forgot the fact that she can't cook. She wasn't reading the Chrissy Teigen book. I guess this was just some YOLO shit that she was just gonna do for this Asian dude, and he was just gonna like it because he ain't ever really fucking had black food before. But she wasn't even making black food. She said she was making a roux, some shit I never even heard up in the Midwest. I don't know if that's some Southern shit or what, some LA shit or what. I don't know. It didn't fucking sound appetizing. But he comes in there, he gives her a kiss on the neck, and Molly's like, "I'm not fucking your ass tonight." So so crouch that dragon and put it away. But when she tries to give him when she gives him some of the gumbo, he's like, it's very salty. I mean, Molly dismisses that shit. She was like, look, I got a bunch of uncles with hypertension and they fine, so I know salty when I see it. But when she tried it, the shit was in fact salty. But as they're having dinner, Molly's showing him pictures of her in childhood. I wonder who that cute ass little girl was at Disneyland. I still haven't fucking been. Hopefully, I'll get to go sometime in the near future. Hopefully, when this whole corona shit is over with. But she then proceeds to ask him about him and his siblings, to which he tells her his sister was not good at crowds, so he and his brother were not able to go to Disneyland. She asks where his sister is, and he says that he doesn't know. She's like, "You don't know where your sister is?" Which was a very tone deaf question to me, because if someone doesn't know what their sibling is, that definitely implies there's a problem. Either they don't talk anymore, or that person is just on some other shit. Like, I was thinking like heroin addict or something like that, something real drastic to where that person will not want to be in contact with their family anymore. But you know, Molly, she don't really know shit about shit anyway, so she asks him, and he's like, "I really don't want to talk about it at all." And she kind of like rubs his arm, like, "No, you actually can talk to me." And he wants to just, smooth that shit over by like, we can still go to that concert, because he really don't want to talk. But I really don't know why he would want to see Summer Walker at all. But she gets fed up and like, well, you can go if that's where you want to be. And he like, okay, so what the fuck is the problem? And she like, I'm getting frustrated because I'm trying to talk to you and it just feels like I'm talking to a wall. And he's like, it's always an issue with you. I just can't fucking win. And she like, well, I want to talk to somebody who wants to actually talk to me. I want to talk to somebody who I can know for certain has depth within them, which came out all wrong. It just reminded me of when she was trying to tell Jared that she should like, it's okay to meet people where they are in life. That's all she had to say with Jared, and to not trip, to meet people where at the start, middle, or end of their journey. She fucked up and said, you know what, I should just been okay on your level, or I should just been comfortable with whatever she said. I can't really remember, but it came out all wrong, and he gets offended, and he's like, you know what, I'm about to go see um, Summer Walker go do some melodic talking, some melodic speaking, okay? I'm about to go see her do some rhythmic talking. I don't have time for this shit. So he gets up and he leaves, and Molly is just totally frustrated with the whole thing. And how I feel about that is, you kind of just have to, you know what? I'll save this for later. So Issa is at the Schoolboy Q concert, but before she goes in, she calls Lawrence to verify with him how much he's told the braid hoe. And he's like, I haven't talked to her about nothing. It's cool. It's not gonna matter too much. And she asks him how are you? Just trying to like, I'm not make it seem like this is all I called you for. And he's like, we can just hang up. I'm watching Looking for Latoya. And they're on here saying that this white bitch, I don't know who that white bitch was supposed to be. I didn't recognize her. So if anybody recognized that bitch, drop her in the comments. But he's like, this white bitch is on there talking about something. They gave their best efforts looking for Toyota. And they had a kindergartner draw a picture of her next to a car. And he was like, no, that's not Latoya. That's a car. But they get off the phone. Issa goes into the Schoolboy Q concert. Fucking cameo by Schoolboy Q, the artist. At Molly's crib, Molly's super frustrated. She's having a glass of wine. She's on her Cersei Lannister. And she needs somebody to talk to. And she tries to talk to Issa, and Issa sends her as the voicemail because it's loud as fuck at the concert, and she wasn't going to be able to talk to her right then and there. So Molly, oops, yeah. So Molly is at a briefing at her law firm, and Torian is being Torian. And Molly, for one, she's not trying to be the star. She's actually taking a back seat to Torian, which is unusual for her since she was on her, as Issa said, her Annalise Keaton last season. She's taking a back seat and she is not inputting anything, to which Torian is just completely thrown off. So after the fact, he comes into her fucking office. He closes her door, like throwing her off, and he asks her, why didn't you say anything, especially when you knew that this person was a client at your previous law firm? And she is actually honest with him. She's like, you know what? I don't know what you mean. And he was like, look, you complimented me, you being nice to me, you trying to be my travel agent. I don't need you to do. So if you have a problem, what's up? And for the second time, we see Molly being open and honest about how she feels with the men in her life. Like we've seen it with Andrew when she opened up about how she likes him. Now she's opening up to Torian and telling him, like, you know what? I felt like I handled the situation on the Metro case wrong, and I want us to get along at work, but I know it's gonna take some time. And Torian is just stunned. Like he's stunned, and he didn't even have anything to say. He just said, "All right." He left out the office, and he did not close the door. And in that sense, I'm just like, Molly, fuck Torian. I didn't really like his whole attitude last season, his lack of modesty, just talking over all the women, wanting to talk over everybody. She was saying that she wasn't really a team player, but I didn't feel like he was either. Like, if he was a team, then he was a Kobe Bryant, rest his soul. Give me all the pass me the ball. I'm not passing it back to y'all. Give me all the credit and the praise. So I'm just like, if Molly's gonna fuck over anybody at work, it should be that bitch, because he's only gonna look out for himself at the end of the day. So I don't know why she felt the need to apologize to him for making things awkward. I most definitely would not have done it. Now, lastly, the scene of controversy. Issa and Molly are doing Self Care Sunday, hiking up a hill, and they're talking about the block party as usual. Catching Molly up on every fucking thing, and Molly's catching Issa up on Andrew, and she's like, I don't fucking know. I tried to get him to open up at dinner, and he wouldn't, and it went left, and he just fucking left. And Issa, at first she kind of like mumbled something under her breath. Molly insisted she says it, and Issa pulled a Molly from last episode. She's like, I just feel like you always look for problems with these niggas. And I'm like, do you want to be happy? Like, I'm tired for you. And Molly kind of received it at first. And then until she got a phone call. So Issa walks off. Molly accepts the phone call, and it's from Andrew. And Andrew's like, you know what, you were right. I do have a problem with opening up. And I didn't see it, but you called me on it, and it's just gonna take some time. To where Molly says, I have time. They do a little cute little shit, and they hang up the phone, and Molly goes back to talk to Issa, and to which Issa's like, I had to cut off motherfucking TSA Bay. My plan B was turning to plan A, meaning I guess either she was fucking him too much or it was getting too serious. Really ain't see Issa date Calvin. So maybe she was fucking him too much on a too frequent of a basis. And she was like, I'm not about to be fucking a nigga who got 2 kids and 3 on the way on his TSA salary. But the whole time while Issa's saying that, Molly's just checking out of the conversation. Like, she's over it. And what I got from that scene was that Molly kind of received what Issa was saying. Like, she probably felt like in that moment that Issa was right. But it wasn't until Andrew got her on the phone and said that she was right, that he does have a problem opening up, that she was like, this bitch isn't right. This bitch is fucking hating. And now I'm seeing that I can't talk to this bitch about my personal life anymore because she just doesn't see where I'm coming from at all. Like, she didn't think that I could put the pussy on pause. She didn't think that I could slow it down and actually get to know somebody. And now she's thinking that I'm always looking for a problem. And in this sense, I'm not always looking for a problem. Because, like I said earlier in the video, there are things that you need to know about people before you even get into a relationship with them. And Molly's never going to find any of those things out if Andrew doesn't fucking talk. So I feel like in that scene, Andrew validated what she felt and what she said, and it just made her look at Issa in a different way. Like, maybe I can't be personal with this bitch anymore. I don't think this bitch knows me no more because she's spending so much fucking time with the braid hoe. That's who that bitch know now. She don't know Molly Carter anymore. So maybe I need to back off because clearly she's backed off away from me with this block party. And to that, I would say, you know what? But Molly has her own job. But I would say to that, maybe Molly could try to find a way to help bring the block party to life if she feels like the block party has sort of pushed her back in Issa's life. But sometimes, you got to be pushed back in people's life because people have other shit going on. And you just have to remember, like, most of the time, it's never personal. So don't take it personal. And that's where I'm going to end this video. So if y'all like this video, y'all know the spiel. I'm pretty sure if y'all watch YouTube, y'all know all the spills. We say all the same generic shit. But y'all all have a great one.